Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you. It's depending where you are in the world. We're doing a nighttime devotion from the devotional Maranatha. The title today, Food and Lands in the Last Days. The scripture reading comes from Matthew 6:34. Take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is evil thereof. The Lord has shown in the vision repeatedly that it is contrary to the Bible to make any provision for our temporal wants in the time of trouble. I saw that if the saints have food laid up by them, or in the fields, or in the time of trouble when sword, famine, and pestilence are in the land, it will be taken from them by violent hands, and strangers would reap their fields. Then will be the time for us to trust wholly in God, and He will sustain us. I saw that our bread and water would be sure at that time, and we should not lack or suffer hunger. The Lord has shown me that the some of His children would fear when they see the price of food rising, and they would buy food and lay it up for the time of trouble. Then, in a time of need, I said them, go to the food and look for it, and it had worms and full of living creatures and not fit for use. Houses and lands will be of no use to the saints in the time of trouble, for they will then have to flee before infuriated mobs, and at that time their possessions cannot be disposed of to advance the cause of present truth. At that time, if any held onto their property and did not inquire of the Lord as to their duty, He would not make duty known, and they would be permitted to keep their property, and in the time of trouble it would come up before them like a mountain to crush them, and they would try to dispose of it, but they would not be able. But if they desired to be taught, He would teach them in time of need when to sell and how much to sell. In the last great conflict of the controversy with Satan, those who are loyal to God will see every earthly support cut off. Because they refuse to break His law in obedience to earthly powers, they will be forbidden to buy and sell. It will finally be decreed that they shall be put to death. But to the obedient is given the promise, He shall dwell on high. His place of defense shall be the munitions of rocks. Bread shall be given him. His waters shall be sure. That's Isaiah 33. By this promise, the children of God will live. That title again, Food and Lands in the Last Days. Take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. So don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. Sufficient unto the day is evil thereof. Evil times will come. In the meantime, do what you can today. Focus on today. Many will not wake up to see tomorrow, and they're worrying about tomorrow and next week when they should be worrying or even thinking about what they should be doing right now, today. It says about people storing their food on the time of trouble. And I've read this before years ago, and it struck me then. And I remember various people I've known over the years who have got, who have got homes either in the islands, Caribbean, wherever, where they are storing up food, where they expect to retire to and have food should anything kick off, which it will kick off. But my view to that has always been, for example, bags of rice. Even though rice is dry and needs to be cooked, it still is not protected from insects and animals. No food is. And even though you're storing it, are you going to be able to cook it when the time comes? Will you be able to make a fire when the time comes? Because many a time we will be hiding. It's not just a case of you just lock your door in your house and no one's going to come for you, and you just lock your door, close yourself off, and then you just eat food and survive. And I'll tell you now, I do not own a house. And the reason I do not own a house is when the time comes, I cannot take that house with me. So I'm going to spend 20, 15, 20, 25 years paying for a house, which I'm going to have to leave when the time comes and walk away from. I don't own much stuff. I have a bag with my necessary things ready for when the time comes, with torches, with knives, with necessary equipment to survive. Emergency bag. So when the time comes, solar powered battery packs and all that kind of stuff. I'm well aware when the time comes, we won't know how it's going to happen yet, but we have to be prepared. We have to know what's happening. We have to know what's going on in the world and how we cannot know. Well, we don't know how it's going to affect us right now, but we are getting a fair understanding as things move forward. In England, here, there's a few examples of 15-minute cities. What does that mean? That means it's all controlled by microchips and 5G and 6G systems. Well, 6G hasn't been launched yet, but the 5G systems. And when it's a 15-minute city, it actually means because you are microchipped, they can control where you go, and you are not allowed to travel anywhere further than 15 minutes from where you live. So that gives you a digital circle from where you live as to where you're allowed to travel. And if you have to travel further than that, you have to get um, permit. You have to apply for a permit. Now, if you look at all the movies that have come out in the past, Hunger Games and all those kind of movies where they all live in their districts, and they're not allowed to travel from one district to another unless they're permitted. This is exactly what it's going to be like here, but just in a different way. And it's a soft rollout. That's what it is. It's a soft rollout. They're trying it in a few towns or cities here in the UK. They might be trying it in other areas in the world as well that we're not told about. And that is going to restrict us. So if you've taken the vaccination, you are microchipped. If you haven't, you may still be microchipped in some other way. And what we need to do, we need to be looking into all the natural remedies that we can take that would help us to get rid of this. The reason I'm saying this is because as many people I know are storing up all their food. When the time comes, they will go and they will have food provision. But they can't. When the time comes, they've got to run, move away, go somewhere remote. And therefore, they're going to leave their house, leave all the food and provision they've stored up. There's no point. You don't know how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, but when it does happen, you either stay where you are and get caught, or you move, run, walk, however you get away, and you hide. That's how it's going to happen. See, the house you own, the house you're paying for, the house you're spending all your money on buying, you won't be able to take that with you. So it's a fruitless exercise. You do not own the land your house is on. You own the bricks and the mortar and everything in it, but the actual land is not yours. And they will be able to just tell you to get off their land. Your house is on their land. The Crown and the Vatican own most of the land in England. Fact. It says here, I saw that any people held on to their property and they didn't inquire of the Lord as to what their duty is, to make their duty known to them, they're going to lose it. And they'll be put to death because they're holding on to their earthly goods. But the obedient to God, He will guide them as to what He wants them to do, when to do it. And that is a case of when God says go, you go. You don't pack your suitcase, you go. Probably just the clothes on your back, you go. People of Israel wandered around the wilderness for 40 years with the same clothes, the same sandals on their feet that never wore out. The clothes never wore out. God sustained them. Their clothes, their shoes, food, water. In the last great conflict of the controversy with Satan, those who are loyal to God will see every earthly support cut off. Your money will be useless. Your debit card, your bank account will be closed down. Your phone will be cut off. Get what they call a burner phone. Get a SIM-less phone, but you can only use it a few times before they'll trace you. They've got a voice print of your voice, so they can trace your voice through digital. They've got a face print, a print of your face. So your face, your fingerprint, your retina, what is it? Your fingerprint, your retina, your face structure, your voice. They've even got a pattern of your mind. And they can trace you with everything. Even your thermal. You've got a thermal map, a thermal print as well. Look this up. You can get glasses that would block cameras seeing your eyes. You've got clothing that would block cameras tracing your thermal print. All worthwhile getting. I'm looking to getting them myself. Get ready, get ready, get ready.